Howdy! I have decided to return shimmy videos. The shimmy video is important. Why? Because it works. Those couple weeks that I was working regularly, that I was very fortunate to have some regular work there, about 3 weeks. And I worked a lot, and I was kind of burned out by the time it was all done, and that's okay. I learned a lot. I got to do a lot of hoopment. I did more hoopment than I've ever done. I recognize that I can do 5 days of hoopment for 5 to 6 hours a day before my body goes, please stop. So that was great. And then recognize that there is such a thing as too much hoopment, but I would never recommend for anyone to do 5 to 6 hours of hoopment a day for 5 days in a row. I think 10 minutes a day is good. That's really all you need is 10 minutes a day of hoopment, 10 minutes a day of shimmy, and 10 minutes a day of wacky arms. During those few weeks that I was doing hoopment so much, I wasn't doing my shimmy because I didn't feel comfortable doing that shimmy, and I was kind of worn out by the time I got home, so I didn't want to shimmy. And I didn't feel comfortable doing the wacky arms either because these are things that are newer for me to do. So doing them in public is a little bit uncomfortable. Plus, it was an atmosphere that was mostly male. And there's something about shaking your body around men when you're a female that makes you uncomfortable because for some reason some men interpret that as sexual, even though it's not intended to be so. And that's okay. That's some of the things that we're learning to shift and change, is learning to move our bodies, feel comfortable moving our bodies, and really not care about however anyone's going to interpret our motions and movements because we know what we're doing and we know what our intentions are. My intention is to mobilize my body effectively. And what I found when I stopped doing the shimmy was that my body was starting to hurt more lower body wise. My upper body was okay up until the very last day when my muscles were really mad at me. My deltoids were mad at me for all of this arm work that I was doing, and that made sense. But also my lower body started to get annoyed with me because I wasn't doing this shaking, this gentle mobilizing of my body that I get to do with the shimmy. My husband had started doing some shimmying prior to me getting that gig, and he would also notice improvement in his body, less pain, less discomfort, greater mobility. And while I was off and working, he kind of forgot to do it. It just wasn't without me to remind him to move his body to do a little bit of shimmy. He didn't, and his body pain came back. He got grumpy again. And so since I've been home, we've both been doing our shimmies again, and we're both feeling the difference and feeling better and feeling more mobile. He's recognized that if he does some shimmying before he stretches, he can get deeper stretches. I find that if I shimmy first thing and just throughout the day, really, I'm trying to get myself in the habit of shimmying every time that I've been still. If I've been sitting for long periods, whether it's first thing in the morning, I get up out of bed, do a little bit of shimmy to get things mobilized. If I've been sitting because I've been watching TV or working in front of the computer, do some shimmy. I can do shimmy anytime. I can do it while I'm walking. There doesn't need to be any specific thing about it, because that's the beautiful thing about the shimmy, is that you can move through space and still keep it up. It does take a little bit of coordination, but that's okay. That's part of the challenge, is keeping your body moving, keeping it in motion, and keeping that shimmy going for 1 minute to 3 minutes to 4 minutes to 5 minutes to 7 minutes to 10 minutes to 20 minutes. I made it to 2020. Then I realized it's more fun if I do 10-10 shimmy and 10-10 wacky arms and 10-10 hoopment, and mix some shimmy in with my wacky arms and my hoopment, and then I know that I've gotten my 2020. And there we go. I've got a solid half hour of exercise every day that's easily done. But sometimes it takes a little bit to get started, especially if we're not used to moving our bodies. When we're not used to moving our bodies, they feel stiff. We don't want to move them because they feel stiff. It's a catch-22. So start out with a gentle shimmy. Start out slowly. and just very slowly start mobilizing your body and start getting things moving. And then with time, you can increase your shimmy into something that's a little bit faster, a little bit more intense. But start out gently, and then this is just a gentle way to mobilize your fascia and warm the ground substance, which is the interstitial fluid that everything kind of lives in. And when it's warm, we move more freely than when it's cold, because when it's cold, it's kind of gummy and sticky, and when it's warm, it's more fluid. And the connective tissue, the fascia that holds everything together, also appreciates movement. Hydration is important too. So there we go. There's some shimmy. Hope you kept up with me and just moved your body, and that you can feel the difference that a little bit of shimmy can do. And I'm gonna do some wacky arms too, because that's also important. Whether you do it with me or not, that's fine. Maybe you can just watch me and laugh either way, or play with the hoop, or just shimmy for some more time. That's fine. Thank you.